Hey y'all, let's just let this thing count down for a second before I get started. Cause y'all know they be cutting off the beginning. But you niggas had 48 hours to respond. You had 48 hours to respond. The responses ain't adding up to the allegations. They not adding up to the allegations. What is going on? I ain't hearing not one person step up to the plate and say, Katt Williams is a GD liar. Katt Williams is a bold-faced liar. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I ain't hear none of the famous black sayings that black people say when people be lying on them. Let's just start there. I watched the interview the first day, but I wanted to wait a little bit because I wanted to see who was going to respond. Because when I tell you, Katt lit YouTube up. Like, I don't even think that, like, has anybody racked up that amount of views? Like, no, first of all, let me check on my other phone and let's just see where the views are at right now. Because if I'm not mistaken, he got more views than every comedian that was on his show prior to him thus far in 2 days. And their interviews have been up for months. But let's check the numbers. Hold up. Katt Williams' interview is at 18 million views. I don't know if y'all can see that. 18 million views, 2 days. And judging by the responses and the rebuttals that I seen, hey, did you watch the Katt Williams in Club Shay? Now wait a minute. Katt Williams tore it up. He done lit them up, child. And I ain't heard not one of them. And also, you need to check on TikTok because I feel like the TikTok community did a way better job of putting together the receipts for Katt Williams. They got the Katt Williams receipts flowing. And basically, oh my God, child, he done opened up. Listen, he done set the tone for 2024. 2024 is the year of the truth, honey. He done lit, like, who can come behind that? That's what I want to know. Who's coming behind that? This has to be his best interview thus far. This is probably the most his show probably has ever been talked about. And I know that Steve Harvey did go viral for whatever he was saying on that show, but I didn't watch that because I'm not like a huge Steve Harvey fan. Like, he cool, but I won't break my neck to say, oh my God, Steve Harvey's coming on. Let me see what he's talking about. No, I didn't watch it. Well, see, you know what? The information that Katt put out there, he has been saying for years, but it just didn't get this type of traction. So the people that are saying, oh, Katt Williams been saying this, he been saying that. Yeah, he has been saying it, but people have not been taking him seriously. So now it's kind of like, again, the climate is different. So people are more open and people are opening up to the truth. So, hey, I don't know, but I just feel like Katt Williams, nobody called that man a liar. Yeah, he was being shady towards Bernie Mac. He was being shady the entire time. And I just feel like you could kind of tell, like, from back when the Kings of Comedy came out, I felt like you could tell he wanted the spotlight to be on him, but he couldn't really get it because of Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was a true Libra because he used to be cutting up, like, and you couldn't shut him up. So that's how you could tell. But, and also, you know, when Bernie Mac said that they steal your jokes, you know, he said that on the Kings of Comedy. Couldn't you? Yeah, I feel like you could see all of that. I feel like you could see all of that. But there's things that I wish that Shannon Sharpe would have asked him. And I actually had to write it down because I feel like at certain points when he was like flowing with the information and he was asking them questions and he was responding, I feel like he could have got more out of the interview had he been a little bit more polished with what he was doing. And I'm not a professional either, but I be knowing what the people be wanting to know because I be wanting to know. But I feel like he definitely should have asked Katt Williams about what happened with Rockefeller Records. Remember back in the day? Yeah, but you know what? I don't even think Katt Williams was all that drunk. I don't think he was all that drunk because he was straight-faced it. He wasn't giving off too many grins. But that was like a free 3-hour comedy show because it was hilarious. And he wasn't playing at all. Like, he wasn't playing no games on there. But that thing was hilarious. Like, I don't even know. Like, I know he's on tour right now, but I don't even know if his tour is as funny as that freaking interview was. Oh, yeah. He definitely was drunk. And I think that Katt Williams caught him off guard with how bad he lit that show up. And I saw a live that he was doing with Ocho Cinco when he was talking about, you know, how he didn't think that the interview was going to be. I think it was his stylist or somebody was like, "Yo, this interview is going to break the internet. It's going to shut it down." But he was like, you know, considering the fact that he was in it and you know while it was happening, he just was like, you know, I think it's a good interview. And he said they didn't edit nothing out. And he said he had more questions to ask him, but they didn't get around to it because I feel like the show could have been a little bit longer and I feel like people would have watched it because usually I'm not with that super long podcast. Like a 3-hour podcast, I'm out. Give me an hour and a half. Anything you got to say or do, I don't care if it's a podcast, a movie, a stand-up, a musical, you better get it done in an hour and 30 minutes. Anything beyond that, I'm ready to boogie. Yeah, well, you know what? I don't think he thought that he was going to have smoke for niggas like he did. Yes, and I saw somebody, my girlfriend sent me earlier, somebody had said, I know Katt Williams' legs hurt from standing on all that business. I said the internet don't never stop playing. You know they never stop playing. But remember when Katt Williams put on the, remember when back in the day when he did one of his specials and he put on the Rockefeller chain? I wanted him to ask him what happened with the Rockefeller Records thing because I thought he had a record deal. I thought he was getting ready to come out with music. Like, what happened with that? He should have asked him what was his worst experience in Hollywood. Because I feel like that would have, if he would have asked him that question, he probably would have had to cut the tape. He probably would have had to say, cut. Well, one of them, do you remember one of them, which one of the chains did he put on one of them shows? On one of his specials? Because I can't remember exactly which one. But I didn't see that pop back up. But I wanted to know exactly what happened with that. And he is really, really smart and he's articulate. And what I don't like about, what happened with that? I wonder what happened with his music career. Because people that's really smart like that and know a lot of words, they are normally like really good rappers. But what I don't like about when people say certain things, that's just like Kevin Hart's rebuttal was like, oh, he's mad. He's angry and he need to, you know, get himself together or whatever. And he hoped that we don't want to hear none of that. We don't want to hear the generic Oprah speech, dog. We want to hear you address what he had to say about you. If you're not addressing that, you should have just stayed silent and just let the ball roll wherever it went and just left it alone. Because at the end of the day, that little generic speech that you put out, and considering the fact that you from Philly niggas is cocky. And if he had a leg to stand on, he would have stood on it in that moment. And he did not. And I was disgusted. I was like, whoever Kevin Hart Peoples is, they should have stopped him for putting that statement out there. Because that ain't work. Cedric the Entertainer, his statement, that ain't work for me either. Because, you know, the TikTok community pulled him together. Because they definitely caught him multiple times stealing other people's jokes. And it's kind of like this. If you did it, it's just like, dang, I ain't even know. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I did it. It is what it is. I watched did you see the Ricky Smiley? Ricky Smiley did he did his rebuttal on his radio show. That wasn't working for me either. He had his manager there, and it was just too much. It was just too much. And he basically, you proving Katt Williams right by bringing your manager to co-sign what you're saying. You're a grown man. Tell us what happened. Katt Williams said his side. No, he said his side first, Ricky Smiley. And then Katt Williams came back and said what he said. So why did you feel the need to reiterate on the story after he tells the truth? He did. And they can't deny the fact that he's talented. And I don't like the fact, yeah, I think so. I think so too. I think he was thinking to himself, you could tell he was taken aback because then he starts stuttering like, hold up, I thought you were supposed to be on my side. You were supposed to be working for me. But that wasn't it. That Ricky Smiley rebuttal, it wasn't it. Who else? Ludacris, did you see him? He tried to put out a diss track. That wasn't it. Because guess what? He said your wife was funny looking. You did not defend her. He said that the Melody, you can't really be saying too much about them because they'll shut you down. But the minority meeting that you went to, you didn't address that. And you get tired of people saying, oh, this person is on drugs, and oh, yeah, you need to get help, and this, that, and the third, and this person is crazy, and this person is on drugs. That's everybody's favorite line. But think about the people that you know from your neighborhood or from the block that's either crazy or on drugs. When have they ever lied to you? Like, when has a drug addict ever told you a lie? If you ask them who shot the person that got killed on the block, the crackhead that's always out there probably could tell you. And guess what? They're going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you a lie. So anybody that's from the block and from the hood, you know. Ask the crazy person a question and see if they'll tell you the truth. So we got to stop falling for that little line too. Oh, this person is crazy, and oh, this person is whatever. Child, you see Kanye ain't say nothing. Because he lit Kanye up too. But I feel what he was saying about Kanye. Like, why are y'all holding him accountable if y'all saying he on medication and he crazy? Why y'all even care what he talking about? He ate him up with that. But the rebuttals, they just ain't work for me. I feel like all y'all niggas should have just stayed quiet and y'all should have just let it roll off the back and just let it go because y'all did not help the situation. Y'all made it worse. Because then with Cedric the Entertainer coming out saying what he said, then people started digging up the receipts. And you know, that's all you got to do is go back. Because everything is documented at this point. Everything is online at this point. So you go type in people's name and you can find exactly the moment that they did something they ain't had no business doing, that they stole somebody else's joke, or they repeated something that they saw somebody else say. And people think that if something is old and they try to recycle it and bring it back, that people not gonna notice it. And they do. And especially if it's your material, because that's even Mark Curry. Mark Curry been saying for years, Steve Harvey, he stole my swag. Which I still watch Hanging with Mr. Cooper to this day. And I could see similarities between the two shows that they had, like Hanging with Mr. Cooper and the Steve Harvey show. But boy, he lit him up when he was talking about Steve Harvey with his wig, with his man unit. Oh my goodness. Katt Williams was hilarious. Like, I wonder if he got paid to do that interview. I wonder if Shannon Sharp pays those guys. But I wish he would have asked him too, does he think people can make it out of Hollywood unscathed? To see what his response would have been to that. I feel like he would have lit that question up. Which one of his specials does he think was the greatest? because I wish he would have elaborated. He was talking about himself, but I feel like he was more so defending himself than actually giving the audience more about him and how he personally feels. And also, I wish he would have asked him, what does he hopes transpires from this interview? Like, what does he hope happens in you know, after this interview is viewed? Because I feel like that would have been a great question that he would have had a great answer for. Because I feel like Katt Williams is really, really smart, and he's very articulate, and he answers his questions. He thoroughly answers questions, and I feel like you have to be paying attention and you have to keep up with what he's saying in order to tap in and catch what he's saying, unless he's being direct and he's being silly. Because at certain points in the interview, I feel like he was definitely being silly. Like when he was talking about Cedric the Entertainer and stuff, I feel like he definitely was being silly. But for the most part, I feel like he was being his true, genuine self. I don't think he was that drunk. I don't think he's crazy. I don't think he's a drug addict. I don't care if he is. I'm rolling with Katt Williams because his stories seem more tangible than everybody else's. And the responses that have came back in from his statements, they just not adding up for me. They not adding up. So, I don't know, if y'all did not watch that interview, which I'm assuming that everybody and their mama saw that interview at this point, go watch the interview. It is a good watch. It is long, but it's long, and it is very entertaining. Okay? Now, that's what I call entertainment, and that's what I call a comedian. Because when you can sit there and you're not actually on the stage, and you could just sit there and keep somebody tuned in for 3 hours, you got something going for yourself. And I know that his tour dates, I know that his tours is probably, if they're not sold out already, I know that this is going to boost and increase his sales. But at the end of the day, we have to stop using the, oh, this person's on drugs or this person is jealous. Because I didn't see jealousy. Like, I'm normally really good at picking up on somebody being jealous or somebody being salty in regards to where they are versus where somebody else is. I don't feel like Katt Williams is in a jacked up predicament to be salty. So I just can't, I can't go with that. But entertaining, y'all better go watch that. And when you watch it, tell me what you think and what you would have asked Katt Williams, because Katt was on fire and he should have got all the information. Actually, we need part 2. We need him to come back, or we need him to go on somebody else's show and finish this off, because I wasn't done with him. Even after the almost 3 hours, I wasn't done with him. I wanted more. But I just wanted to go live real quick and talk to y'all about that, because I said on my last live that I was going to watch it. So, y'all tell me what y'all think, and I will see y'all in the next video.